the battle for second place. So there's definitely an interesting losers bracket that we have to go through still to see where these guys end up. Anyways, Blue, so the game is starting now. It's going to be Forest of Niflhel, Abjured versus Hail Mary. Blue, what's happening?
Opening up the maps, we got the usual cross split coming out from the guys on the Abjured here at the moment, sending THM across the map. But you will get gimped out by Zeus and Muffins, but I think Fanta knows this is coming. He actually does have stealth, but he gets rid of his own.
Oh, the big burst! My goodness! Oh, didn't quite pull it off, though. We've seen that before, though. Phantom crosses far. They were waiting for him in stealth, but they don't quite pull it off.
Just like that.
It's going to be close.
It was actually Phantom's own fault, too, that he got hit by that burst, because he had stealth, but he kind of just looped through with the speed burst that kind of came in there from FGS, and he actually accidentally ran over Zeus and Muffins with it, forcing himself out of stealth there while those two remained in. So it kind of acted as a bit of an early alert system, and obviously is going to cause that opener going back over towards the Henge to fail. Of course, though, Phantom will just reinitialize that as he gets his health back. He will go over towards the Henge, and right now looking like we'll get a free cap, but of course that's not what matters. What matters is happening on mid, as we got that big mid fight going on. So
oh my goodness, I'm just watching. Like, so we had Hail Mary come in, pushing hard on that point, and the Abjured just pushed them right back. A little bit of a tug-of-war here, pushed them right off that point, pushed them off to the side. They tried going in for that res on a Candace. A Candace is dead, CMC is dead, Muffins is on the run. He's in stealth, he's fine for now, but Toker might be looking. Nope, Toker's going to jump in on Zeus, who is maybe in a rough spot. We got Shade and Toker on him now. Zeus actually gets taken out by Toker there, so he's going to go in the downstate here, pop that early misform, and that's going to be that. So coming right out of the gate, we see a solid 2-cap. In fact, an easily obtained 2-cap coming out from the Abjured.
Owens, they had a little bit of struggle getting there. Again, Hail Mary tried to go for a bit of... Hail Mary obviously threw Phantom off course, but I think Hail Mary did screw up in that they didn't have someone at the home node. Like, that's the opener for the Abjured, is Fanta goes far, and that doesn't change. So I think a mistake was made there in assuming that by pushing up Fanta the first time that he wouldn't try to go for it again, and I think that that's kind of biting them in the butt here right now. Had they have kept maybe they can't really afford to do this granted, but had they have kept one of their players back, then they might have held on to that home point, and they might have been able to open things up with a 2-cap on the side notes here, but because they kept no one there, obviously we saw that free cap go towards Fanta once again. All he had to do was fall back, regen, and then walk towards the point. And obviously again, this has put the guys on the Hail Mary behind.
Now there's two really interesting matchups here that I want to call out. So as we talked about earlier, engineers on NA are pretty confident in their abilities, right? So there's a lot of fun watching Ostrich and Chafe, or 5-gauge rather, kind of go 1v1 there. The other interesting combo to look out for here is going to be Nos pushing in on Ostrich Eggs. That is such a brutal combo. Nos being able to just dump back anything onto Ostrich Eggs. You know, Engineer is very susceptible to getting taken out by Condis. They don't have healing turret up. And so that's going to be the thing you have to look out for, is Nos coming in, rotating on the side points, looking for Ostrich right off the bat, and just going in for him right away.
As we essentially saw right there, actually, Nos just pulled up that exact feed on Ostrich Eggs and managed to take him out. And not only this, too, but we do have a Candace falling into the downstate as this 3 versus 1 continues. Zeus is in the area, but he will be leaving to support teammates at mid as he crosses by across 5-gauge there. Zeus will unfortunately be forced to redirect his path, going back around the midpoint, and this will open up more time for the guys on the red side to get back over onto mid if they so choose to do so. But once more, too, we've got some more action happening back over here at the Henge, as we have Muffins going for a free cap there. 5-gauge will soon be jumping onto that, of course, to continue that 1 versus 1. But Muffins trying to lay that for as long as possible. I'm not 100% sure if Muffins will stay here. He definitely won't now.
Yeah, that's a good time to pull out. In the course of that happening, CMC was fighting 1v1 versus Wakey on point. We had Zeus coming in and try to support him as Nos and Toker were rotating in. We come back to the fight now. We see CMC in downstate. I'm going to take a guess and say that it didn't go very well for Hail Mary there. And we do see the point getting decapped, though. But we have Zeus on point, but I don't know. It's going to be rough. You know, CMC getting taken out so easily there.
They do have Zeus and Ostrich Eggs here, so I have someone that can tank, technically speaking, but again, now with those reinforcements coming in and that, the Abjured will have the 3 versus 2. We'll see them probably pulling out there. That's a bit of a smart move. Again, this is overall going to see Blue Team now get constricted towards the home node, but when we look at their combo, when we look at overall how a lot of these fights have gone when they've split up, that's going to be the best option for the guys in the Hail Mary. Their comp will thrive whenever they're forced to fight as a crew. Abjured will get their advantages as soon as these guys split up, as soon as they're forced into smaller node engagements across 2, maybe even 3 points, that is where the guys on the Abjured will start to take an advantage here. So the thing that the Hail Mary really wants and really needs to start taking fights is to get the guys on the Abjured grouped up and hopefully get a very large 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 team fight, something along that lines, so that they can start to take a snowball there.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing even is just to have Zeus and Muffins in the same spot. You know, for a long time we had Muffins fighting over there on Hen's side, kind of by himself there. and Zeus was over at mid, so you didn't have that strong burst combo, coming into play there. We finally see him getting grouped up here. We saw Nos going down as a result there. That's really what they need to be doing, is just having the right players grouped up together, fighting the right fights.
The other thing, too, that I really like with the Abjured, and that somewhat counters some things out over here on Zeus's end, and not only Zeus's end, but the rest of the Hail Mary, too, is that the SD Thief, I think, really causes a lot of pain for Zeus, as, again, Zeus's burst comes in very, very quickly. It's very small, and there's not a lot of window for error in that kind of a burst build. So if he tries to burst on Magitoker, he's really going to have a hard time with it, whereas Magitoker can just kind of freely come in there, and as long as he has enough initiative to keep his dodge up for like 90% of the time, then he can just sit there and abuse the crap out of him, really keeping Zeus out of a lot of these fights, like we're seeing essentially right now. Though Magitoker does screw up a little bit, and is going to get taken down by Chieftain Udaheim.
Chieftain, the 6th man.
But of course, 5H
going in for that res there. Chieftain putting out too much damage. A cleave from the neutral team is too strong. Let's put some points on the board there for Chieftain.
Chieftain, the savior of Zeus, as Magitoker not watch his peripheral vision. It does get ganked from behind by the Chieftain.
Chieftain, yeah, he's still in this fight. He's still going ham. He's on Zeus now here, like you said. Getting cleaved out. Oh, the Chieftain. Oh, the rally, though. Zeus, there it goes! The rally on Zeus, and they got it from downstate. Oh, my goodness.
Got the 25 points onto their score, and they got the 50-point stat boost. So Muffin's nicely done there. Muffin's really making the best of a bad situation, is going to rally his team completely. And now as well, they'll be able to transfer these 2 burst players up to mid, possibly allowing them to take a team fight there, and then they could move that potential snowball onto another node.
That was all planned, by the way. That was intentional, completely.
Absolutely. 100%.
They're calling strats out. I saw it.
So anyway, heading back into some of these fights, guys, mid is still going pretty strong at the moment. CMC wanted to move away to assist, but it's going to be him and 5Gauge going at odds for some time. Slightly off point here, too. We did just see Nos falling down. His blue team, again, like I just said, is going to take the snowball train along over here towards the mine point. As we take a look at what's happening here at the mine, they're still pushing in. Fanta, Wakey, and Toker all here fighting for the guys on the Abjured. And of course, with all those more reinforcements coming in from the Hail Mary too, they do have, in my opinion, a bit of a slight advantage in the fact that they are fighting for that big team fight. But they've got to be careful, of course, because the Abjured spawn is just a few feet away from this point. So they need to get these kills if they want to take this point. They need to get those kills very quickly. Otherwise, the snowball will not be fast enough, and Abjured will just continue to reinforce ad infinitum until they overwhelm them.
This is, it's starting to swing back a little bit here.
Yeah, I do have to say so. It's gonna come down to their ability to rotate, but if they can keep the Abjured in one group, this is the thing too, is like we're kind of seeing this split up strat happen now, where Abjured is getting smaller numbered fights happening, and that's where they take advantages. But if they can keep them all kind of collided into big groups of 3, 4 or more, then I do think that they can continue this 2-cap rolling for a very long time and actually allow them to maybe come back and maybe even take the first game.
All right, CMC down on mid right now. He's got a little bit of life here, but not a lot. Wakey though, dangerously low. He could be prime target for a burst combo. We see the fresh air combo coming out from Zeus, not enough to take Wakey down though. Looks we got Muffins coming in, the damage going onto Wakey. Wakey's still alive though, popping into a water tomb, and here he's doing so well, staying alive against all odds. We got Ostrix down on point here now. Wakey staying alive against, what is that, 3 members of Hail Mary? That was impressive.
Very good job there by Wakey on keeping himself alive. And that's interesting too, because Wakey's not normally known for being able to survive under high pressure. He's normally known for kind of keeping his other teammates alive and getting clutch reses off. So that was interesting to see there. Very good job by Wakey on surviving against that very high pressure.
Red team got a capture point.
But of course, as we transfer things back over here towards the Henge, where we're now going to see the Abjured to try to defend at this point as well, as they've held this for some time. As a side note, they will be taking back their own home node for free now that the blue team has been somewhat scattered, so we'll be seeing the guys on the Abjured get back on the board here with a 2-cap, possibly a 3-cap if they want to pressure into the Henge, but I'm not 100% sure if they want to do that. I think they're just going for the lockdown thing again here. They're just trying to kind of pen in the guys on the Hail Mary, keep them in this one area where they can control them, and then basically delay for as long as they can, and then they'll eventually fall back. I don't think they'll push fully onto the node.
Veteran getting under a little bit of pressure. He's going to try to disengage, popping into air, just do a little bit of lightning whip off. Zeus coming in on him though. He's actually going to ride the lightning away rather. And Zeus is not going to be able to land as much damage on him as he thought he was going to be able to. Veteran going in for that Earth 5. Is this the big Earth 5 damage hype? Didn't quite go off though, unfortunately.
And as well, we'll see the blue team start to shift their strategy away. Muffins will be going over here towards the mine. We'll be getting probably a free cap over there. Considering Ostrich Eggs will be delaying the other 3 members that are in mid. Unfortunately, will have to give up his life to accomplish this deed, but at the end of the day, will give his team a cap. But again, blue team needs to rotate over towards mine, because even though they are getting this cap right now, they've got no one to support it. And Muffins, there's no way he's going to be able to survive 1 versus 2, especially not against Phantom and 5-gauge. So Muffins, unfortunately, going to get put into a bad spot here, just due to blue team not being able to rotate quick enough. And even though they are making those rotation attempts now, you can look at the minimap and see this. It's really, really sloppy at the moment. They're trying to just get people over towards that point, and it's really just not happening. Thankfully, the red team went
the double down state.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes the banner. It looks like on the... Was that a banner? No, it's just a res onto Toker there. Ostrog's actually getting trolled by his own team, it looks like. He's been down on this beach for... Man, it's been like a minute or so?
Yeah, he's been down there for a very long time.
That is not a great way to spend the entire game.
No, indeed. So anyway, guys, what is happening here right now? Red team does not have any nodes to their name, but they are ahead by a little under 100 points here at the current time. They're looking at about, so now with that one cap, of course, looking at about a minute, 2-3 minutes here before we see them take the game. Kills not included in that, of course, and with them kind of looking at their position on the map, they should be able to kind of clean up this the rest of this game pretty easily. I think it is safe to say that game number 1 will more than likely be going into the favor of the Abjured, and this will put the Abjured only one game away from the spot in Boston.
Yeah, it's a bit closer than I think we expected. I mean,
did you see that?
Hail Mary, and by me saying that, Hail Mary is not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination, but the Abjured is just, I can say this without being biased or anything, it's just that they are, for a fact, the top team on NA right now.
Yeah.
And
as we said before the game began, like 2+ months now they've gone completely undefeated. So to say that they're the best team in North America is completely and factually true right now.
Almost there.
Yeah, like I said, though, it's looking pretty grim for this team right now. 20 points away from the Abjured taking game 1. You know, Chieftain's back up, so if they can get Chieftain to ally with them again, maybe, push into a point, Chieftain do some work. Savannier's up too. He might be willing to jump ship. But it looks like that last game, or the game here, is going to go in favor of the Abjured, so we're moving on to the next map, which is going to be Legacy of the Qualifier.
Gotta cut Savannir, part of the prize pool, that 50K, if you wanted to help you out there.
The sixth man.
So anyway, guys, that's game number 1. We'll go into the favor of the Abjured, and now we'll be moving on to Legacy here in just a second. So, I mean, Grouch, what do you think of game number 2? What do you think of these comps colliding, heading on to Legacy? Who do you think's going to have the advantage here?
It's pretty dang close. I mean, I feel there's a little bit more damage in favor of Hail Mary, but what they don't have is as much sustain, in my opinion. And what that means, I think if they push into that midpoint, it's going to be a little bit rough there. Let's say they can get like a really nice burst combo off onto someone early. If they try to go for that long game there, I think they're going to be in a rough spot. If these guys try to play for side points, that's really where Abjured excels. But I think that's probably where they're going to have the best shot.
Yep, I agree. And it's going to be, personally, I think this is a very tough map for the Hail Mary. Overall, I think this is a map that very heavily favors the Abjured's comp. Just because of the fact that, again, the blue team relies on a very successful team fight in order to get a snowball rolling, and unfortunately, that team fight is more than likely going to be occurring at mid on this map, which, again, considering the fact that it's got to be Zeus as well as the Thief working together, considering the overall point here, it's going to be very hard for those two to group up and kind of gank down a target, so it's going to be very hard for them to succeed in getting that victory at a team fight here at mid like you would normally expect, and from that's where kind of the difficulty stems for the guys on the Hail Mary here, is the fact that they're going to have a lot of trouble winning a team fight to get their snowball even going, whereas the red team, all they've got to do is just split it up to 3 nodes, and then they have an advantage right there, and then from that point forward, it's just not screwing up the fights, and then they can lock down this entire map. This is the map that we've always seen Abjured just completely locked down. This is the map that quite a few times now, Dodger Die and the Hail Mary, they've called early GGs on this map. So we just have to hope now that they've got they've got a good plan here, they've got a good strategy lined up, because if not, then I do feel that the Abjured is going to get a fairly easy win on this map.
All right, Blue, I'm getting some requests in stream here. They want me to open the chest. So let me get this out of the way here. Which one? There you go, guys. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'll do the daily. It seemed to bother him so much. Oh my goodness, 600 luck. Look at that.
Nice.
Woo! All right, so Blue, do you want to go ahead and give the ready up to these guys?
Letting them know right now, guys. So once again, as soon as these players are ready to begin, we shall get started with our second game in this set, which the Abjured currently leads and is looking at a potential spot in Boston now, guys. If the Abjured takes this one, they will have qualified and will be going to PAX East for the grand finals with a $50,000 prize pool, guaranteeing them as well at least $2,500 of that prize pool. And as for the Abjured, they need to stop them here. Otherwise, once again, they themselves will be thrown into the lower bracket. They won't be out yet, and they'll have another chance to qualify. But they are going to be at much higher stakes now in that lower bracket finals.
All right, so the teams are getting pretty close to reading up here. So again, Fandram pushing far is going to be I think it's going to be, basically that split is what we see from them every time. They're going to push, I guess they're going to be on the right team. So they're going to be pushing over towards Waterfall. Waterfall is actually the best node probably for Fandram of all nodes that he can defend on, just because there's so much defensible terrain where he can use the line of sight.
Yeah.
If Fandram is able to cap that node, or even just stand on it when it's neutralized, it's going to be extremely hard to uproot him.
I think we'll see the safe opener from the guys on the Hail Mary here too, and seeing that Muffins and Zeus probably will sit back and go towards the home node just to gank him out, and yeah, that's exactly what we're going to see. But it's only them though. That's interesting actually to see only them going. Usually you've got oh no, cancel that. Ostrich sitting behind them, didn't see that. So yeah, Ostrich will be jumping on the node, and we'll have Zeus and Muffins sitting back here. Now this is what they screwed up last time, is they screwed up the opening burst. But if they're smart with this, then they might be able to get this gank off on a Fanta, but no, they took too long to get that stealth. They did that stealth a little bit too forward. Fanta saw that just out of his LOS, so...
the Bastion Defender and Rhodes, he's going to pop that Armor of Earth. He's going to be able to, looks like, disengage, pops into water. A little bit of healing going off onto him, so I think he's probably fine for now, to be honest, but it was a nice attempt.
And of course, that'll transition our big fight back over here onto the midpoint now as teams are vying for control. That red team at the moment does have the overall kind of pressure on the node to better them, as blue team is trying to get themselves onto the node in the first place. CMC also has already taken a lot of DPS here too, and has somewhat been forced out. He'll be rejoining this now, but good focus from the Abjured. Look at this, they're locking down
Oh my goodness, the Condis.
Alive here. As he falls into the down state now. Easy stomp coming in there from Wakey to take him out, and now the snowball begins for the Abjured. They got to, blue team has to play this safely now. They've got to turn this around. They've got to put someone on the defensive. Otherwise, things are going to continue to play badly here for the Hail Mary, and the Abjured will get a nice and early 2-cap.
Zeus getting taken down here as well. He's going to go back onto the point here. Candace is in range, but the banner, is it going to happen? I don't know if this is the best thing for him to do. Probably not, and I believe we will see Zeus getting cleaved out there by Magic Toker coming in with the whirling axes. And Candace's time left on this point here is dwindling rapidly.
To use a banner in that situation would have only essentially just wasted it, basically, as he would have gotten up, and I think he would have pretty quickly after that fallen down once again. It's better to say that for a situation that you know is salvageable, whereas one of that really wasn't. He probably would have died regardless. So I think that was a smart move on Candace's part to save that cooldown, as it is fairly long, and you need to choose very carefully when you want to use that banner.
You know, he is doing a pretty dang good job staying alive here. He was able to stay alive for a pretty considerable amount of time after that Zeus going down there. Zeus is back on the point now just as Acanis gets stomped out, which while Acanis stayed alive for so long is actually a really unfortunate situation because now Zeus is coming in and they're basically just trading places.
We're going to have a Muffins versus Magic Toker fight back over here at the core. And once again, as these two duke it out, Magic Toker does have that, but nicely done with Muffins on the interrupt there too. But at the same time, very close fight. I do think Muffins has a very small advantage here. Both Thieves going to pop their Bazzi Venom at the same time. Ooh, nice blind from Muffins there.
Muffins going to try to use that black powder just to try to avoid some of the damage here. Magic Toker actually getting sent back in. He's going to move back in that mid-fight. Muffins, rather, will be able to get the full cap there on Quarry.
Progress is also being made in mid here in favor of the Hail Mary as well. We've seen Wakey just recently go down. Phantom has also fallen into the down state. Has a Vapor Form ready, but he is going to pop that now. Magic Toker might be able to support, but I don't believe he'll do so. 5 gauge also an option, but again, considering the numbers here from the Hail Mary on mid, I don't think they're going to do that, and Fanta will fall down now, giving these guys priority control for the time being, and possibly the full cap in just a second.
Right over here on Quarry side, like I said, Nas and Muffins here fighting. CFC getting on point now. Nas getting pushed away. He's going to... Actually, no, Wakey coming in, so they're going to try to push this 2v... yeah, it looks like a 2v2 here. It's going to be Thief Ellie versus Necro Ellie, which I think is going to be the Necro Ellie advantage, personally.
Gotta agree with that one. It depends now. Can Muffins get this locked on Nos? Muffins being very cautious against Nos. You can see that too. Is again, if he dives in at the right time, the Condi lockdown that Nos has, there's no recovering from that on Muffins' ends here. So he needs to make sure that he saves his burst for the correct time, waits for Nos to get low enough and goes in, which unfortunately is where Red Team gets their advantage from, in the fact that Blue Team is forced to play so defensively in this fight that Red Team just has free reign and can usually DPS down the members of the Blue Team before their own health becomes an issue.
There was an interrupt on the dark path that Nos tried to get off on Muffins. I don't know if that was a self-interrupt or if that was Muffins trying to get a headshot there, but he does miss it here. Muffins still, actually he's under a bit of pressure right now. He's doing a pretty good job of staying alive. He's going to have to pull out a little bit, try to disengage before he moves back in on that point.
We do need to see, too, right now. I don't think that we're going to see the Hail Mary win this engagement at the moment. It's going to be a very tough fight for them to continue going. And we're seeing a lot of their guys are getting low. What a smart move would be, in my opinion, right now, would be to start to move your players away from this. Try to get the waterfalls. Right now, they've only got 5 gauge defending that one. And 5 gauge is not really a huge, kind of defensive tank or anything like that. They can burst them down pretty easily. If they moved Muffins along with Zeus off this point to take out 5 gauge, I think that they can make a nice switch off, back over towards the waterfall, and then be ready to defend mid here, too.
Oh, Nas is going down. Phantom at the ready, trying to get that res off here. The Shadow Fish comes down on the Nas. The cleave is real, though. Looks like he's... Oh, it's going to be close. I think he's going to be able to get back up here. The Dragon Tooth coming down from Zeus. The damage is real, though. My goodness, so much work being done.
Wakey is well low.
Phantom down, Nas is down. Wakey was dangerously low. He's going to disengage here back into the midpoint, and we have, the Ostrich Chafe 1v1 going on, but he's going to get caught out by Muffins, it looks like.
The Hail Mary somehow managing to rally through that fight. They kept pushing it, man, and it was getting close. It looked like they almost got eliminated there, but they somehow managed to pull through that. Very well done by those guys, and very good overall tenacity too in keeping that fight going. I personally would have told for the team to pull out, but they wanted to keep it going, and they were rewarded most definitely by being able to hold on to that 2-cap, which previously has been a bit of an issue for the guys in the Hail Mary. So they're looking actually pretty good now as they're just about to overtake the Abjured and take the lead for themselves.
Now, thing to look out for, Blue, is that right now, Hail Mary has an enemy team home node, right? So anyone that they kill in these mid-fights is going to be on respawn. They have to send someone to try to defend that point, which you kind of see right now. We've got a couple players checking for the respawns over there on Quarry side right now. At the midpoint, though, Toker going into downstate. He's going to get eaten alive. Phantom trying to go for that res. It's not going to happen, though. Toker getting cleaved out. That's going to put the mid-fight advantage.
Zeus was the one to take him into the downstate with a beautiful combo directly, just almost one-shotting him essentially with this combination there to take him out of the mix. So very well done with that. Unfortunately, however, the advantage is going to get eliminated now with them taking on Ostridigs over here, so they don't have that NG support coming in either. So fairly even fight, but again, with Ostridigs being out of the wayside, they've now got an open pathway to Zeus here, and Zeus is really under a lot of pressure here. He needs to get out of here. He needs to get to a safe spot, as once again, he's not going to be able to survive for very long, and he will be going down more than likely in just a second. But they've got Nos down, and Zeus isn't out just yet. He's got those swirling winds up. A lot of pressure from Muffins on the Nos here as well. Magic Toker diving in, but oh, nicely done on the retaliation from Zeus on a Magic Toker. Nos is not out just yet. They're really trying to get Nos back up, but there's no way they're going to be able to pull that off with that much cleave. So Nos falls down, and once again, blue team takes the man advantage here, and Zeus somehow managing to stay alive through that fight. Once again, in water teammates, so he'll get some more heals up, but I think, oh my goodness, Zeus is somehow staying alive. He'll finally go into the downstate here now, and now it's up to the blue team to get him back up.
And he's going to miss from back on the point here, try to get to a position that's a little bit easier for them to res. The Candace going in. The big updraft going out, though, is going to earn up that res. Zeus getting cleaved out. Looks like they're just going to let him rot, though. Probably the best move, though, because there's a lot of cleave damage there. If they go in for it, they're going to get eaten alive. So letting Zeus on the respawn is probably the best decision. Meanwhile, over on Waterfall, Muffin's getting a decap. This is an aside.
Yeah, Red Team actually had to commit a lot of resources to this mid-fight, including obviously 5-gauge there because of the fact that, again, they were having a lot of trouble in that mid-fight. This has actually costed them a bit, so Muffins will be going for that full cap just yet. He's actually going to very smartly leave Zeus to pull that one off as Muffins comes back in to reinforce that fight. But again, the Abjured, because of the lack of Muffins and because of Muffins' pressure being off members of the Abjured here too, they have been allowed to come back on here. They've taken out CMC, and at the end of the day, we are going to see Abjured being handed over control of the graveyard node here, and then we'll start their way back to maybe taking back the lead here too.
On Waterfall side, we have Zeus versus 5-gauge on point. Nos coming in with the Candace to help Zeus. The early combo went off onto 5-gauge, did a pretty decent amount of damage here. It's going to push 5-gauge off point. Nos coming in to replace him. This is a kind of a rough combo, though. Necro and NG is a rough combo to fight against.
Absolutely, and especially with Zeus in play here, and with Zeus not really having a lot of ways to go where he can perform properly, it's going to put him in a very rough spot. He really needs to try and kite around here, and even so, he's not even going to be able to escape from that. Nicely done by Nos. That's going to cut Zeus down. Muffins will come with a big burst, but thankfully an auto fear will save Nos's life, chaining that as well with 5-gauge's own CC. Zeus will be forced to pop his bait before I'm going to try to get a little bit closer to some teammates, but again, with the high presence from the Abjured at the moment, I don't believe he'll be getting back up, and I think in just a few moments this node is going to go under a red-colored flag, and that will put it into the control of the Abjured.
We have CMC capping the Quarry back here, and then looks like a fight breaking out at mid again. Toker versus Muffins on point right now. Ooh, the Thief hype. We have Ostridigs on the ledge there. He's going to leave Muffins and Toker to duel a little bit here. He's mostly putting pressure on Fanta and Nos, who are rotating in right now. The crate coming down is going to actually miss on Toker there. Kind of a wasted crate.
Yeah, a little bit. So as we take a look here at what else is happening, Muffins, the rest of blue team off of their respawns here, they're trying to get back into mid here, trying to put some pressure on the Abjured. They've gotten Nos down fairly low, but he's also progressing. He's in a pretty good spot here now too, but he's going to take a bit of a risk in diving back in, and we'll pay the price for that too. As you can see, Zeus getting a nice amount of DPS off onto his body. Muffins might go for the full kill here too. Going in, trying to eat through his death shot, but again, another auto fear I think is going to hurt Muffins quite a bit, but does get the AoE.
Oh, they get him down. The crate coming down from Chaith, it looks like. The Shadow Refuge going down as well. Muffin's getting dangerously low right now. He's going to try to burn those condies. The Shadow return. Cleave going out. Not going to be quite enough, though. Muffin's going down for Magic Toker. Magic Toker on the hunt. And he's going to get that stomp off. Muffin's teleporting out, actually. Wiggy coming in for the finish off that stomp there. Muffin's taking too much cleave anyways, and he's going to be out.
Muffins gets eliminated, and this pretty much guarantees the defense now for the guys in the Abjured as they take full control of this waterfall, still sitting in their favor as well, but they might soon lose it, so they need to reinforce this. A Candace coming in. Chaith is on his way to this point, but I'm not sure if he's going to get there in time to stop the decap, and no, he will not there, so that is going to force another even fight. Unfortunately, though, Candace is going to get forced into a 1 versus 2, and with no one else available to support from the Hail Mary at the moment, that will cause some trouble, and could, even though we do see the red blue team currently controlling the quarry, that could hand over that second node once again to the guys on the Abjured, as a Candace is being forced to 1 versus 2 on his own.
There comes the corrupt boon onto a Candace now. It's going to be all downhill from here. Candace has got everything on cooldown. Oh, Lord Rush.
Zeus at the moment. Yeah, look, Zeus is going for the side gate right here. He's going to try to take that.
Zeus is knocking on the door.
Okay, this is going to be a bit sloppy now, though. CMC should not have come over here.
CMC, you're supposed to distract them.
CMC coming over. I think he wants Zeus to get him back up in play here.
Speak of the devil, Zeus does it.
Look at how much damage Zeus is taking here now. There's no way Zeus is going to be able to push for Lord, and not only this too, but CMC is also. I don't even know if Zeus ever got, or CMC even got back up, but he's fallen down once again here, and now both these guys are going to be knocked out.
Well, they're going to leave Zeus in downstate here over here at the gate, so Zeus is actually just going to cleave it out here. Fenrir, I'm going to let him rot out. Both the LEs doing work on that gate, so they got the gate down, which
Zeus
is
like creeping in with his vapor form there.
I don't know if he's got range to get the Lord though, unfortunately.
Reach really hard. So anyway, that attempt at a Lord push is going to fail a little bit, and it's handed over a 3 cap now to the guys in the Abjured. So I do believe that this is GG at this point. There might be one last-ditch attempt to push for Lord. Muffins is still on the board here, but again, it's not going to happen. I don't think they have enough time to pull this one off, as they are now under 30 points away, and now less than, I believe, 20 seconds away from this happening. So I think it is safe to call it at this point, guys. Congratulations to the Abjured. They're going to claim the first North American spot at the WTS Season 2 Finals in Boston. They're progressing onwards, and as for the Hail Mary, they're not out yet, but they're going to get thrown into the lower bracket. We might see them play, or we are going to see them play a little bit later on today versus the winner coming in from the other parts of the lower bracket.